Ethiopia is the land of origins, the land of origin of coffee. I'm looking forward to having injera. Talk to us about just the culture and the tastes and the sounds, you know, of Ethiopia, you know, because even, you know, when people travel, you want to feel like you're in history. So talk to us about some of those beauty and some of those beautiful things about your country.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think the way it is branded the land of origin, it has a serious history behind, I should say. To start with, as you have been saying before, you know, this is a country never colonized, and the nation as a whole has a serious how do you call it, psychological fit to stand against any kinds of aggression and repression.
Okay.
So meeting with this kind of people, with this kind of mindset, it means by itself there are so many things which we can exchange because of the psychological makeup in doing so. This is a number one. We also, I know this is not like to undermine any kinds of archaeological findings anywhere.
Because of the situation with South Africa and Ethiopia.
No, with no one else. No one else.
Yes.
We, you know, the archaeological finding, we call it Lucy.
Yes.
It has its own scientific name, with the age of 3.2 million years.
Yes.
Is probably the first one who walked on two legs on the soil.
Wow.
So the feeling is we are a real proper ancestors of the global population.
Yes.
So wherever you are, if you are claiming to your ancestors, you have to say, I am an Ethiopian.
Yes, I'm an Ethiopian.
Yes. Thank you so much. So this is the second issue, why we claim or why we coined the branding of land of origins. Then there are, when it comes to the other issues, you mentioned coffee. You know, there is a legendary behind the coffee, and there is a place called Kafa in Ethiopia where the shepherd was looking to his goats and sheep around, and they were a little bit excited, and he was wondering why they are excited and why they are not staying in a herd. You know, those ones who ate those leaves, they were a little bit excited. So he was observing, and then he went himself to check what happened with those leaves, and he tested them, and he himself get excited as well. So that's how the history of the coffee started. Then with the birthplace for coffee is Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So again, you know, justifying the land of origin. Of course, on the lines of economic ties in the continent, you know, the Blue Nile, now, which is now joining, it is like the longest river, which is now connecting, you know, to Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, where against the colonial agreements, now we are coming to the agreement where we can build, and we can use for the common benefit of all the population and all the continent. You know, when a country remains poor, it's a liability for all of us. It's not for only that country. So developing and accelerating economic growth is, I think, a dividend for everyone. It's not for only that country. If the Republic of South Africa gets developed the faster possible, even from whatever is now, it's an asset for all of us. Entire continent, for entire globe. If you are vulnerable for any reason, it's a liability for anyone else, for bordering countries, neighboring countries, for the continent. In this globalized world, you cannot say, you know, whatever problem can happen there and I am safe. No, you cannot say that. So one of the reason we feel the land of origin is the Blue Nile. You know, it starts from Ethiopia and it feeds the whole area. There are a number of other issues as well in terms of calendar. You know, while
explain the Ethiopian calendar, but it's a bit different.
Yes, yes. You know, while we are discussing the European calendar counts 2018.
Yes.
Now the Ethiopian calendar counts 2010.
So we're all younger.
Yeah, exactly, you brought. So when you come to Addis Ababa Bole Airport,
yes,
you will be automatically 7 to 8 years younger than who you are.
Okay, I'm staying in Ethiopia.
The trickier part is when you leave Bole Airport again, you lose it. So you have to decide. You have to decide what to do. So,
yes,
so the same is true how we count the day as well.
Yes.
For example, now on the European terms, we are talking at 10 to 11 a.m. But and you have to watch out this very seriously, it may complicate a little bit your life as well. But when you happen in Addis Ababa, this is now the time we count 4 to 5.
Okay.
So it's the time count itself, the AM PM issue has its own various, I don't know, various arrangement.
Yes.
When you raise early in the morning, we call here 7 a.m., but there you call 1.
Yes, that's in Luganda. Actually, you start with 7 is 1. Also, yes, in Luganda, so it was 7 years. Wow, so it's very.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we come back again, this land of origins issue, then this is another thing. On the other hand, there are so many ancient civilizations as well.
Yes.
You know, you may get really surprised that 3,000 or whatever years ago, what people done. And those ancient civilizations brings all kinds of stone formations, how they are formed into churches, how they are formed into various I don't know, the various formulations anyway, which you get really surprised how those people on those years managed to construct a church from one big stone. And in fact, it's a mystery which one could not understand even today. How people on those days managed. So these ancient civilization-related churches, mosques are around, where still we feel these are like the first in their kind of being available for. So the land of origin issue has all kinds of backgrounds. Above all, you have also a serious diversity. Which you can appreciate once you are there. You know, we are more than 80 nations, nationalities, and peoples with their own different cultures, different language, different various manifestations when you are around, and also the different food culture as well. So you may be going to Addis, and I'll really recommend you visit one of those what you call cultural restaurants, where you may be moving your neck or shoulder or I don't know, the lower part or the upper part. You really enjoy it. And you have a team of musicians who are facilitating the same, and I'm sure the Zacharias will give you some of those names. And once you are there, you will definitely catch up. So there are the wells, the wells of reasons which we need to move around the continent. I'm sure you will have an opportunity to visit some of those. And if you happen to visit our Culture and Tourism Ministry, they will definitely also produce some of those tour package. Now, the point which I would like to emphasize is that the continent if we want to create the road or the path toward this economic integration, then the touristic integration, as you mentioned, is very, very critical. To do so, we need to work with tour agents on both sides or in the continent to include on wherever they are the other countries in their own package. So when they are presenting their options, then they will present to whoever is visiting these additional opportunities that are available. So a tourist operating agent in the Republic of South Africa may include Ethiopia as one of the touristic destination. Then, you know, there are daily flights today.
On your amazing airline,
Ethiopian Airlines,
one of the most respected around the world.
Yes, yes. There are daily flights. In fact, from Joburg there are 3 flights. One early in the morning, the other at midday, and the other at the evening hours at 11 p.m. There is a flight from Cape Town. In fact, there was even a flight from Durban. I think the Durban flight they are working on further few issues. I think it's already. So, using this opportunity, a tourist traveling from the Republic of South Africa can fly this morning, can attend a weekend, and then come back on the other days as well.
Nice long weekend.
Exactly, long weekends as well. So, packaging our destinations through the tourist operating agencies to facilitate the integration is also an important issue, I think, which we need to pick up and work. In the embassy, we are trying to work on it. There was a time where the tour operating agents across the neighboring countries as well went to Addis Ababa to do, you know, like a fact-finding mission, how how they can combine in their own tourist menu, you know, the other country as well.